to talk about the strangest Fujifilm film simulation. And this was one of those things that I just never understood for the longest time. The past few years of shooting Fujifilm, I rarely ever used this film simulation and I couldn't ever understand it. And I think there was a lot of insights in the past few months that have really allowed me to understand what it is about this particularly and why and how I can use it to improve and create something interesting. And the film simulation is Velvia, by the way, and it's one of Fujifilm's oldest film simulations. And it's like, I have it on my X Pro 1, and I think it's been there for a very, very long time because Fujifilm based this film simulation off of the Velvia film stock that used to be quite popular back in the day amongst film photographers who shot landscape and other things like that. And the reason why it was so popular was that it brought out this kind of punch in the photos that allowed it to look, I don't know, more vibrant, more colorful, and just a bit more contrasty. And it had a particular type of film grain towards it as well that I only really understand by looking back on it kind of now after I've used the film simulation a lot more. And so I wanted to talk about this film simulation because I've learned a lot of things by using it in the past few months, and I think it's just really overall a very interesting and solid film simulation. So if you guys are interested in trying it or haven't tried it yet, this is kind of the video to... whatever. So I'm going to start off by talking a little bit about why I never really used this film simulation. And that's because it has this kind of punch and color vibrancy towards it that I just never understand or looked good in my opinion. I took a lot of street photos, some landscape photos, and a lot of just everyday type of photos in my photography that doesn't really work with Velvia because Velvia gives this kind of punch to the skin tone, so it makes it look maybe too colorful or too vibrant, and I think it just makes skin tones look ugly. So I would never use it when I'm like editing a photo or taking a photo of someone. Lately, this winter here in California has been crazy because there's been just so many clouds. I don't know if it was always like this or I'm just paying attention to it now, but I've just been taking a lot of cloud photography and like cityscape, sunset and stuff like that, and a lot of abstract photography as well. So I've been finding myself limited by classic chrome for a lot of images just because I couldn't get it to look like how it looked like in real life. I couldn't get that same kind of punch that I wanted when I was taking photos of these sunsets, these crazy colorful sunsets that have just been blowing my mind. And I realized when I was scrolling through different Fujifilm film simulations to try out Velvia, because I was leaning towards Astia or Provia, but Velvia just has this kind of punch and it has this kind of impact towards the color that really, really allows me to get the saturation just right towards how I saw it in real life. And it's amazing because a lot of the photos that I've been able to get out of editing these images in Velvia, just classic chrome does not stand a chance, and I just don't understand, but I get it now. So that brings me to kind of like what Velvia is good for in the situations that I would recommend using it in if you're thinking about using Velvia. One, I would not recommend it for street photography or portrait photography or just everyday photography, just naturally because I think the color is a little too strong and the punch is a little too strong just for everyday scenarios. But I would recommend using it in situations like I mentioned. If you're trying anything abstract and you want to bring out the color, you're taking photos of sunsets, clouds, and like it's really, really vibrant, but your normal classic chrome isn't getting that same kind of energy that you want to be getting into, I would recommend Velvia 100% just because, like, look at this photo, look at this photo, look at this photo. The colors are amazing and they don't seem, in my opinion, obviously I'm a little biased, but in my opinion, they don't seem like I'm overdoing it or they're too strong or anything like that. It just seems like really colorful, really vibrant, but it seems appropriate towards the situation. At least when I was there and I saw it, that's how it looked like. And that's how I like to edit a lot of my photos, is how it looks like as opposed to trying to make it look like something it's not. Yeah. Those are the situations I would recommend Velvia anytime you need some kind of punch or color, or if you're trying to delve into something that's more conceptual and not so much realistic, because when you're dealing with realistic stuff like people, naturally there's going to be a limit to how much you can tweak the color of someone's skin tone or something like that. But if you're working with like an abstract photo or a colorful sunset, you can do as much as you want, to be honest. So I also noticed Velvia has this kind of like intense film grain to it as well that really adds a layer of kind of depth to it. I wasn't sure if I liked it at first, but it's kind of growing on me. So take that into account if you're going to shoot with it or edit in it. Finally, this brings me to the third point, which I think is the biggest takeaway that I've learned from shooting these past like few months or half a year in Velvia is that, and it's going to sound trite and it's going to sound dumb because it's going to be like, duh, Andre. It's that film simulations are for fun. I just feel so stupid even saying that. When you're shooting in cameras and you're shooting in color profiles and you're editing and stuff, yeah, obviously it's just for fun because you're playing with a bunch of different things and you're experimenting and you're not supposed to think so seriously about something like that. But that's a bit of a trap that I think myself and maybe you guys have fallen into as well, is that when I have something I like classic chrome, which I use in about 90% of my photos, you kind of just want things to be able to keep using that, you know, because classic chrome is a very versatile film simulation and you can use it for a lot of different things. And so you're tempted to use it for everything. And then that kind of limits your creativity because then you stop experimenting. And it's something I always, you'll hear me talk about in a lot of videos where it's just like, yeah, I'm trying to experiment more, trying to get out of my box more, because it's very important when it comes to creativity to not box yourself into doing the same thing over and over and over again, and to realize that certain situations, yeah, this photo looks better in Velvia, so what? This photo looks better in Provia, so what? This photo looks better with this kind of style and this kind of style. And that's what it's most important about, because you're just trying to get, or at least I'm speaking in third person, I'm just trying to get the best result possible per photo so that when I turn it into a print and release it or post it on socials or whatever, it looks exactly the best version of itself. That's kind of my thinking behind this, instead of the conflict of trying to make everything work with classic chrome, or I want everything to work this way, just trying to get the best end result as opposed to getting the best result that I personally want or prefer. You know what I mean? And so that's like a mental struggle with me, and my biggest takeaway is just to experiment more, and film simulations are just for fun. And yeah. Anyways, hopefully this was an enjoyable video for you. Let me know down in the comments before what you think about Velvia, what situations you've used it in, or if you're going to try and use it in more situations from now on, or just whatever, what you think about the whole topic in general. And yeah, if you like this video, please like the video down below, subscribe to this channel for more photography, creativity stuff, and all that crap. And yeah, thanks for watching. As always, I'll see you guys later. Peace.